Hey guys, how you doing? I know that it has been a minute since I have touched bases with you as far as a video is concerned, and I thought it's about time. I also want to say is I have reached 200 subscribers. I was like, what is going on here? But I'm so thankful to you for coming on in, watching my videos, leaving a comment. It's just something that I didn't expect. But anyway, this is probably going to be a long one because it's been a minute, like I said. So put me on pause, do what you got to do to get you through this video, and let's get this party started. So first of all, I want to talk about the Harley. Now, I hope you don't mind. I have my notes here because, you know, when you get to my age, sometimes we repeat ourselves. It's not something I want to do. So, the Harley. She is sold. I sold her towards the end of August. I'm happy. I was a little bit sad, you know, that she was going because she was my real first powerful bike sort of upgrade. But the reality is I was not ready to be on a bike that has that kind of power. Now, many of you might be able to start on an 883. That's wonderful. For me, it just was too twerky, as I had mentioned in other videos, and I was intimidated by her, and I realized, you know, I'm not going to get anywhere if I cannot handle the bike that I'm trying to ride. So sold her, happy. And of course you guys know that in the meantime, as I was trying to sell her, I ended up with my second Honda Rebel 250, which I love. Let me just tell you this. Don't rush riding. You know, I was the same way, and sometimes I'm kind of like this way still, where I want to get on and I think, oh yeah, I'm ready to go in a group ride, I'm ready to go here and I'm ready to go there. But those things take time because you need to build your skill level and your confidence. And let me tell you, with this Honda Rebel, I feel like I have improved so much that I surprised myself. And now I get on it and I just go. I don't think about it, although I will say I do have conversations with myself when it comes to the Rebel. If I'm coming into a tight turn, or those roundabouts that they have now, you know, when you're connecting in your neighborhoods, I would fear those. And now I just tell myself, look into the turn, downshift, you got this, upshift when you come out of the turn, and it works. So, you know, if you have to talk to yourself and tell yourself, you got this, you know, first gear, second gear, okay, now I'm in third gear. Have those conversations with yourself to help you get through it. Because that's how I've done it, and that's how I still do it. And in the short time that I have had the Honda Rebel, I feel I have gone from down here to up here in my level of riding. The other day, I went to go test out the sound system in my new helmet, which I'll touch on briefly. And I took this back road that leads you all the way to connect to a highway. And at the end of the road, I decided to go on the gravel. There was a little patch there where you could kind of turn off if you want to. And I thought to myself, you know, there's going to be a time where I'm going to find myself upon gravel, and I've got to learn how to handle this bike, or at least know what to do when that happens, because at one point or another, I'm sure it will happen. And so I did it. I've actually done it a couple times. I've gone on the gravel and I try to tell myself to look at the handlebars and handle it like if I'm on a bike. You know, when you're riding your bike around, you could go over dirt, you could go over whatever, and you've got a handle on it. And what I've realized, it's really all control of the throttle, the gear shifter here, not the shifter, what do you call that? The clutch, yeah. The throttle, the clutch, and your handlebars, and watching what you're doing. So, you know, take your time. You know, I started learning to ride when I turned 60, and this 2021 has been what I call my first official riding season. This is where, like I said, since I got that Rebel, I have gone just about everywhere. In fact, I have a little video that I never put together when I first went on a highway. Now, a highway, as you know, is different from a freeway. Yes, a freeway's got all those lanes. A highway's got, maybe a lane or two. It's about, 55, I think, depending on where it's at, miles per hour. Well, I went on that, and I was so proud of myself. And then a couple weeks ago, I think, before the rains hit everything, I ended up going on back-to-back highways, one connecting highway. In fact, I have that in one of my reels on my Instagram, and then continued, went on around on a roundabout, and continued on to the next highway that was connecting to there. And I was so proud of myself. I was telling myself, OMG, I got this. I could do this. And the funny thing is, I kept shifting up into the next gear, looking for the next gear. I'm thinking, where is fifth gear? And I realized I am in fifth gear. So I've come to the realization now that I need a little bit more power. And I'm ready to make that move. I'm still riding the Rebel because this Rebel is going to prepare me for the next bike, for the next level of power that I'm going to need as I'm going now, when I get the bike, whatever it's going to be, on the actual freeway where there's 4 and 5 lanes, and I have to keep up the 65, 75 mile per hour speed. But I'm just so excited as to where I'm at. And for those of you that are just starting out and are new to my channel, patience, just take your time, you will get there. And I've heard a lot of people say that. Take your time, ride your own ride, and you will get there. And I'm still working on to whatever level that I'm going to get to. Okay, so I'm glad we got that out of the way. So let's see. I want to talk about what happened with my helmet. Excuse me. So one day I decided to go riding, and here is a lesson learned. Check your helmet. Like when you get ready to go on your bike, check your jacket, make sure all your zippers are zipped up, nothing falls out. If you're carrying keys on your belt loop, make sure they're secure. Check your mirrors, check your lights, check everything, and check your helmet. And I'm speaking about the bike and everything because a lot of things happened to me when I didn't check the bike. But let me get back to the helmet. I didn't check the helmet, and I didn't realize that the button that is attached to the helmet that keeps it secure had become loose. So in fact, it may not even have been on there when I got on the bike and took off. I went and did what I was doing. I had looked up and felt that the face shield was sitting a little bit funny, but I didn't bother to pay attention, and that's where I made the mistake. Went into CVS Pharmacy, came back out, I was feeling good, I was ready to ride. And as I'm pulling out and I start taking off, the helmet starts doing this. It's just hanging and making this sort of clanging noise, and I reach over with my hand and I realized the button had fallen off. I was so pissed off because I was just so ready to go. And most of you will recognize that when you get on your bike and you feel like the shifting, everything is going great, and you're just ready to go. I was so upset, turned around, came back home, and I realized, yes, the whole button had fallen off. So I just thought to myself, well, okay, there it goes. Now, knowing that everything really is in short supply, you go look for riding boots, they don't have your size. You go look for a jacket, out of stock. Helmets that you're looking for, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. And I was really starting to panic, thinking, okay, what am I going to do? So my husband said, listen, let me look at the helmet. Let's see what's going on. So I'm just going to give you a brief little look-see here. So the helmet here, this piece here inside started to wear out. So the little clamp no longer could hold on. So he did a little bit of research and found on Amazon that you can order this whole piece right in here. And you know, when you order something on Amazon, it'll say customers also bought. And so it was this little number that also was an additional purchase. So I thought, what the hell? I think it was maybe $11, $12. I said, fine, let's order it. So after we ordered it, went on vacation, came back, and the part had arrived. Now, prior to us going on vacation, my daughter came down, and I was excited because I thought, okay, we're going to go for a ride. But then I realized, oh my gosh, my helmet is broken. What are we going to do? I was so desperate because I was feeling so ready to ride. I took some duct tape, and with her help, we ended up duct taping one side of the helmet and leaving it loose enough where I could just push it up a little bit to get some air. Well, you know what? Don't do that, okay? She got here, we tried to sync our helmets with the Bluetooth, and after a good 10 or 15 minutes, they just wouldn't sync. So I took that as an omen. Forget it, don't ride. It's not safe to ride your helmet with a face shield that is duct taped. So that was that. But the good news that came out of that is, she was here, we had nothing to do. She said, hey, let's go down to Cycle Gear. I said, let's do it, let's go see what they have. We ended up going over to Cycle Gear in the next town. Let me put this out of the way here. And I ended up ordering a helmet. Now, mind you, they didn't have a lot in stock. I tried on a lot of helmets, and the ones that had they had one that had a graphic design, was my size, but it's like an additional $100 for a graphic design. I thought, I ain't got that kind of money. These helmets are in the $500 range. Yes, $500 range. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, okay. So we went ahead, I tried on a few, and I have to give a shout out to Cycle Gear out in Fairfield. The manager, I think his name is John. He was really, really helpful. I told him I want a helmet, preferably the Shoei, and I need it in a medium. At least I thought that was my size because my Sediti is in a medium. I said I'd like it in a medium, and I prefer it in a white, only because a white helmet is more noticeable. At least that's my opinion. I don't know. And so he said, okay. He ended up finding me the helmet. We ordered it over the phone, and I paid for it, and then we went on vacation. And when I came back, the helmet was here, and I also ended up ordering a new Bluetooth system. This is the Cardo, it's called Pack Talk Black. It's like a special edition, and I ended up getting that as well. But I'm going to do my perspective. I'm not going to call it a review, but I'm going to give you my perspective on the Shoei helmet, what I had to go through because it didn't fit right when it eventually came. This is the insert that it came with it. I had to purchase a whole new insert, and I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but because everything is in short supply, it came with the, all the helmets come with a clear face shield. I didn't like the clear face shield, so I ended up ordering, actually tracking down this, which cost me an additional, I'm not going to even talk about what it costs because my husband's going to see this video and he don't need to know. But anyway, so got that out of the way. Again, I will do a whole little video on that, the fit, what I think of the Pack Talk, and what I had to do to get it to work for me. Okay, so let's see. So I want to talk about this sheepskin. Now, I don't know if you guys have been, sorry about this old chair, but I don't know if you guys have been riding in the summertime, but out here in the area that I live in California, it is hot. And most of you know that when you get out there and you're riding in the summertime, it gets sweaty down there, okay? I'm just keeping it real. And I have seen people riding with sheepskin on their bikes. So I did a little bit of research, and I was about to order one, and then I read the reviews. People, whenever you're going to order anything, really read the reviews. I mean, go past the first 5, because then all the real stuff is under there. So I ended up going through this company out of Canada, which I will add the link. I'll add a couple of links of all the things that I've gotten in the description below. But I ended up getting the sheepskin. It's real sheepskin. It cost me a pretty penny. It is quite big, and it kind of smells too, but I'm going to have to cut it. Now, you can't cut this with scissors. You're supposed to have like a real sharp blade. I think they call it a Stanley knife is how they want you to cut it. So I was happy about that, very excited. You pick the colors, not colors, but you could pick the patterns that you want. I like the way this looked. Apparently, I guess they're all natural if it's real. And you could pick the sizes. I really had no idea. I mismeasured that this was going to be this big. But that's okay, because I can cut a few. So this is what I'm going to be putting on the bike at some point. And I'm going to do a video about cutting that up, because I know that that is not going to be easy. Okay, and I want to talk about this Babes Right Out of it. Now, I'm going to put a link to Babes Right Out, what it's all about. It's this huge organization of women that go camping, all on motorcycles. Actually, you could come in your car if you want for the first time to kind of get an idea of what it's like. You could drop down your RV, trailer your bike in. But we went August 7th is when we left. I really, really wanted to ride. This was like going to be my pilgrimage as a woman of a particular age to get on a motorcycle and ride down to Borrego Springs, which was like way out there. You're talking the Salton Sea, Salvation Mountain, which I'll also add a link in the descriptions below. I mean, just the whole thing. But I really, really wanted to ride, and as it turned out, when I sold the Harley, I only had a couple of weeks in between that time that we were leaving, and I just felt like rushing to try to buy a bike so I can ride was just not enough time. I felt like I needed to buy a bike and have at least a month's time to get comfortable and familiar with it and confident enough where I felt like, okay, I could ride on the freeway and take this down south. So we ended up using my husband's truck. We rented a Harley, and of course I was a passenger. My daughter, Kill Switch Queen, which I will also put a link to her channel because she does some fabulous stuff. If you're not following her, you need to follow her. Anyway, and I just had such a wonderful time being around women and seeing other women, young and old, just all races coming together and really building each other up and seeing them on these badass motorcycles. I was like, wow, I want to be like all of them, like each and every one of them. And I know that I will be there. I will get there. It's just going to take some time because I don't want to rush anything and end up doing something that I'm going to regret. So I'm working on that video. I don't think I'm going to do a lot of editing on that because I just kind of want it to be raw footage. Some of the footage is from my GoPro, which was on my helmet. I ended up taking my old helmet because I hadn't configured one of these contraptions here. What do you call this? Is a chin mount. Actually, this just came. So my camera could sit on there and I could record. Now the video is as a passenger, so you know there is a lot of footage of the back of my daughter's helmet, but the desert is where this function took place, and it was just so eye-opening as a woman to see all this and what I went through, the feelings that I was going through, and just the whole event. To me, is just not enough time. 3 days. You have Friday that you get there, Saturday a full day of riding where they put all these different routes for you to take, and then Sunday you have to leave. I would love to do something like this for a week, at least 5 days, to spend time, you know, talking with other women and getting to know them. I just wanted to make sure that I covered everything. I'm still excited. I know winter is coming. We're in fall and it is getting colder. But you know what? We just have to change how we layer our clothing, prepare ourselves, because I think riding in the winter in a little bit of the cold and the nippiness is going to be a lot of fun too. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you tuning in, and we'll just, you know, keep it going, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching.